We got a slightly above average weapon here. In the end, I can't really recommend it right now. When you break it down, it isn't bad. It's just not ideal at the moment. There's a lot to talk about. It does feel like it's meant for newer players. Maybe they don't have a nice incandescent weapon or a nice PvP hand cannon. It struggles with some things, but it does a couple things very well. Seas of the Deep is here, and I first want to take a look at Epochal Integration. This is the one that was teased a long time ago, and we're just now seeing it. It's a quest weapon. You talk to Nimbus, definitely do the quest. I believe it also is tied to the new strand aspects. Pretty fun little quest. In the end, you get the hand cannon. And first of all, it's gorgeous. Like, it takes shaders well, looks cool, sounds cool. But what's kind of weird about this hand cannon, well, let's walk through it. Small bore ricochet handling masterwork. In the third node, we have keep away or stats for all. Last column, Eye of the Storm or incandescent. So a set PvE, a set PvP roll. For the PvP roll, keep away is a monster perk. Outside 15 meters, you get reload help, plus 10 range, and just free accuracy. A lot to love. Awesome perk. It's paired with Eye of the Storm, and I see what they did here. It's a nice addition. Good combination. This leaves us with a pure dueling hand cannon. So low health, Eye of the Storm's going to kick in, becomes a lot more accurate. And it also boosts your handling, giving you really good stow speed, aim down side speed, at a distance 15 meters and out. Keep away is giving you accuracy. Eye of the Storm's giving you accuracy as you get low. So in a true duel, you get a ton. I mean a ton. Doubled up dose of accuracy. That's helping vacuum headshots. For that reason, that's not bad. That's a good combination, and actually a very few weapons in the game have this combo. We have two choices for origin traits. It's tied to the Root of Nightmares raid, I guess. Harmonic Resonance. Equipping multiple weapons from the set grants increased reload and handling. Also deals increased damage versus Tormentors, Lucent Hive, Guardians, and their super. If you do run this, you do want to use other Harmonic Resonance weapons. With what they did to the handling stat, getting it 260 with the handling masterwork, if you ran this and let's say get into Eye of the Storm, it will be max handling with scalars. That'll be super snappy. It's hard to do that because the nano tracer rockets are there. Landing multiple hits turns your next shot into a homing micro rocket. And as a 140, this is nice. It will be there for your second opponent in PvP. And in PvE, it does work with stats for all. It's just extra overall damage to shields and whatnot. In the Crucible, though, it does come in play quite a bit. That second target you get into, it has landed some kills. It has backed people off. But overall, if you're a veteran, what you'll notice immediately is the 54 range right out of the gate. For the Crucible, 54 range, that's 30 meters. With keep away, it's 31 meters. And you see that on paper, that is bad, right? In comparison to what we have. It's kind of an illusion because this really isn't bad. When you look at some of the other 140s in the class, we'll take away the barrel and mag. It has a base 42 range. Well, Rose is 43, Annual Skate's 40, Ancient Gospel's 41, Last Wish, Nation of Beast is 40. So Ricochet Smallbore getting to 54, pretty ideal. I wish that the masterwork went to range, but they did it to handling because you can min-max this thing to get 100 handling with how they had it set up. So on this path you and I are taking on where this thing belongs, there's an elite class of hand cannon above this. And you know which ones they are. Palindrome, Austringer, Luna, Exalted Truth. We have the exotics. Most of those are getting rangefinder or high stat packages. You see it with Rose, you see it with Pally, Austringer, Exalted Truth. But let's remember, I'm going to bring this up a lot, probably every review. They are changing range. They are normalizing range. And in that mid-range, Mercury said on our podcast, an example of hand cannons, auto rifles, pulse rifles, they're going to share that space. It starts with the hardest hitting ones in the class. So aggressive hand cannons, aggressive pulses, autos. At 100 range, they're all going to be at 40 meters. It's going to tier down. So for these 140s, we don't know what that scalar is going to be, but I would expect it's going to be 36, 37, 38 meters at 100 range. That's the most that you can get. It's going to scale down a little bit. They're making it to where zoom and rangefinder are irrelevant as far as getting extra damage fall off. This being 54 range, it's probably going to hit 34, 34 and a half, 35 meters once everything gets redefined and normalized. That said, not bad at all. This is simply a solid mid-range dueling hand cannon, and it definitely will be in the future compared to a lot of the other 140s. Right now, it's missing rangefinder. It's missing top-end range perks. Keep away does help, but barely. In the future, it should be fine. And personal notes on it, a big part of a hand cannon, a weapon in general in Destiny, is feel. I personally really like it. I don't want to overstate that it is kind of hard to recommend right now because it's weak on the end of the range band. When you look at the other stats, a ton to like. 82 stability, 60 handling. It is tied for the lowest aim assist of 71, but we have double accuracy perks. It feels really, really nice to me. Once you start grooving with it, it has to be 32 meters end in, and in some of the gameplay, you're seeing just the absolute furthest that this thing can go. And if you've used hand cannons, you know they can go a lot further than that in the 140 class. And in the current state right now, we're seeing a lot of Graviton Lance. Pulse rifles are always going to be there with Messenger, no time. It puts this thing in an extremely tough spot. So much that I don't bring it out on Bannerfall. I don't bring it out on any map that could have a long sightline. I create short ones if I do, because this thing has zero chance. So if you're a new player, definitely pick it up. If you're a veteran, feel is a big thing in this game. With an Icarus script, it's got 33 airborne, put on Foe Tracer, get on Strand, you get up to 60-70 AE. You have double accuracy perks from the air. It can work out nice for you. For PvE, again, really good beginner weapon, stats for all, Incandescent. Incandescent's a really tough one for me on a base legendary. Defeating a target spreads Scorch to those nearby. More powerful combatants and opposing guardians cause Scorch in a larger radius. In some ways, I wish that they would change Enhanced Incandescent. Enhanced Incandescent, defeating a target spreads a longer lasting Scorch to those nearby. You know, you have Ember of Ashes, increasing it to 45 per Scorch. It's super tough. It's a clear winner. I actually wish that Incandescent could get what Enhanced Incandescent has right now and do something for that enhanced perk. Because there's a clear difference between enhanced and not enhanced. Incandescent's one of those perks that really kind of shows itself when it comes to that. But again, if you're a newer player, this is a good incandescent weapon because we have the nanotech rockets getting stats for all hits. We have Scorch, all these things. If you have stats for all the way up, it's 64 range, 92 stability, 85 handling, 76 reload. In the example of Harmonic Resonance, that'll bring it to 92 stability, 100 handling, 96 reload. And it's dealing increased damage versus the Tormentors, Hive, and Guardians. We do have the hand cannons in the artifact. We got Unstoppable Hand Cannon. In general, it's kind of hard to even recommend a hand cannon in PvE. Sure, it's fun for lower tier content. And the only ones that I personally have found success with that I like are the exotics. Ace of Spades, Thorn, Malfeasance, Sunshot. Those actually can put in work because of the exotic traits that they have. But this being a lower ranged 140 with base incandescent, there are better options. There's no way around that. In the class itself, there's Bane from the raid. I never ended up picking up an incandescent one, so I'm glad that I have this as a solar incandescent 140. Push comes to shove though, again, I'm using enhanced incandescent on a number of other weapons. In conclusion, it's a solid hand cannon. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It is that midline. It's great for newer players. It's a great dueling role, definitely in the future for PvP. It's kind of suffocated right now. If you stay in range, it does feel good. The extremely high accuracy with the perks, with the high stability, feels very fluid. It's got somewhat of a custom reticle that I quite enjoy. In the end, I would stash it. Definitely do the quest, get your strand going. Personal note, I don't plan to use it going forward after this review until range is normalized. I will revisit it. But let's talk about it down below. What are your thoughts on the new season? And what do you think of this hand cannon? Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.